Today I'm going to talk about branding that I love. Unique branding, branding that really sticks out to me in businesses that just really have a great sense of self. About a year ago, I started my own business called Walkthrough, and at the start it was just curating and reselling vintage homeware pieces, but now I've kind of expanded it into designing and creating furniture and homeware. I make tables and trays right now from scratch. I do custom pieces. So if you're interested, this is my Instagram and I'll leave it in the description. I have had so much fun creating the brand identity of Walkthrough, what I want it to be, what I want it to look like. Branding is something that is really important to me, and my goal is to create something that I'm proud of it now, but I want to be even more proud of it in the future. I love creating a pretty Instagram, a website that is just really well curated, because the pieces I make and source, like the vintage pieces I source, are so meaningful to me, and I really focus on the colors and what exactly the item is. I want it to show through my branding, and the businesses I'm about to talk to you about have done that. They've curated their brand identity so well, and it just shows and it gets me excited about their business, which I'm sure is their goal. So enough about me. Let's go on to the first brand, which is Glassette. Glassette was a huge inspiration for me. I found them a few years ago, and it really kickstarted my thinking. I had already wanted to make a business, and I love vintage pieces and sourcing different things, so it kind of just got my brain going, and I was like, I would love to have something like that. And they are a business that sell other artists' work. So it's not curated secondhand. Well, it is curated, but it's not secondhand. It's all pieces from different artists in the UK. I actually just got a plate and a print from Glassette, and I love them so much. Let me actually get them for you. 1 second. So I wanted to show y'all what the package came with, because brand identity also goes into how you package your stuff, and that's something I'm working on currently, because I really want the items that I ship to people to be an experience. I want it to feel like a whole really well curated, unique package, and it makes them feel special, and Glassette's really good at that. So I got this plate. This plate is by Meredith Adams, and it's this handmade ceramic plate with swans, or one swan in little stars, and I cannot wait to hang this up on my wall. And like, even her branding on the back, her name like written out, it's just really unique, really true to her. And what came with it, this card that says her name, and then on the back it says, "Thank you for your support, thank you for your order." And because it was shipped through Glassette, they also included a little postcard. Their photography is incredible. The typography is amazing. Things like this I find so special. It makes it feel like the artist and the designer really care about what you're receiving. And it's wrapped, but I also got this print. It says, "We've got a lot to look forward to," and this is by Lucy Mahone, and they both Meredith and Lucy, I tagged them in a story. They both replied, were so sweet, which is another thing that I find so special creating a business and a brand, is to be personable and reach out to the people that actually purchase your items. I think that's so kind, especially for like smaller artists, just taking the time out of their day to thank you for your support. Those are just some things from Glassette that I love. Not to mention their Instagram is perfection. It's so unique to them. It's colorful. Their inspiration mood board images are so good, so unique. They have a really fun element to them. They have a bunch of different styles that they mix together, and it just feels very authentic. And the owner, Laura Jackson, I'm obsessed with her. I have watched her home tour countless times. There was a period last year where I would watch it, if not every other day, every day. I just love it. I would like to do a video on it because I love her home tour so much. She's very fun. That's another part of the branding, is the personality, and do you like the owner? And not that that's everything, but it is fun when the owner is so personable and really believes in their product, and I can clearly tell that she does. But their Instagram is just fun. It makes you, at least me, feel excited about their business and want to learn more. And I love businesses that have mood board or inspiration images on their Instagram, because it shows you not only their products, but what they're inspired by. And I love doing that. And I've implemented that in my own business. Glassette is also similar to Matilda Goad, which I'm going to talk about in this video. It's just the fun side of home decor. It's not to be taken so seriously. Everything's colorful and a little bit unique, and not every piece is the same, which is just everything I love. If y'all have watched any of my videos, I'm very passionate about color and pattern and things not matching, and that's all Glassette is. So if you haven't checked out Glassette, they finally ship to the US now. That's how I was able to purchase these things. I've been looking at their website and Instagram forever, and they never shipped to the US. So I was just like waiting every day. Like, I really hope one day they can, and they finally do. So if you're interested in any of these items on their site, you can actually get them if you live in the US. Laura Jackson, the owner of Glassette, actually has a podcast too, and it is so good. If you're interested in learning about different designers and what they do to their homes, she interviews those designers, and it's just really interesting to hear. I love hearing the process of an artist or designer and why they do what they do and how they can help you achieve your goals in your home. I just love that so much, and she has a podcast. I'll put it on the screen, but it's really, really good. Moving on to the next business branding. It is Ashworld. Well, their Instagram is Ashworld, but it's called Ash, and they're a hotelier. I think that's how you say it. They own and design a bunch of different hotels, and they're opening one in Richmond, Virginia, which is where I live, and you bet your bottom I'm going to be the first one there. I literally cannot wait. I cannot wait. So Ash is, I recently found them. I don't even know how I found them. Actually, I think someone reached out to me and said they were staying at one of their hotels, and I was so blown away by this hotel. I was like, I have to research this company and what they do. They have a hotel in Baltimore, New Orleans, Detroit, Providence, and coming to Richmond. I was so impressed by this business. I will have to put the name of the designer, one of the designers, on the screen. It's funny how, like, when you find something that you've never heard of before and then suddenly they're everywhere, like you finally see them everywhere. He actually did a video with Architectural Digest designing like a dorm room, and it's just funny how before finding out who this business was, I never thought of it. Like, I saw that video, but I never thought of it, and now I'm like obsessed and I'm really interested in learning everything about it. So anyway, he is incredible, and he designed, I'll have to do more research, but I know he designed the Ulysses. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. The Ulysses, I hope I'm saying that right, is the one I really wanted to talk about, because if you watched my first ever video on this channel, I talked about Luke Edward Hall. I didn't really go into it, but his style is impeccable, and I'm also going to talk about his brand in this video. But this hotel reminded me so much of his style. It's very regal, but so fun and so colorful and maximalist, but still pared down. Everything that's perfect. Everything. So this hotel, first of all, the website is something that I can only hope to achieve. This level of perfect branding and color. Color's so important to me. And this blue that's on the website is to die for. And the font is like giving like castle, like old English, but not so old English that it's like in your face. Anyway, the rooms I'm dying to stay in. There's the classic, the queen, the double, and it's just so good. Everything about it. If you know anything about Luke Edward Hall, you'll definitely see the resemblances. I love when everything about a brand and a business goes together. There's nothing left undone. There's nothing forgotten. The website is accurate to the brand identity, the Instagram, everything. I love when it's cohesive, and this 1000% is, and their Instagram is amazing. And as a hotel, you wouldn't really think that there's a ton that you could post on Instagram besides like different pictures of the hotel rooms or food at your restaurant in the hotel. Other than that, I would have never thought, like, what else can you post? It's a hotel, you know? But they have mood board images all throughout their Instagram, which I said earlier, I love because it just gives you a good glance into who they are as a brand. Like, they really know who they are as a brand. You can tell they did the research. They made it so unique to themselves. There's nothing that feels out of place or not thought about. It's just really thoughtful, and I love it. It's fun. I love things that are so, it's just fun to look at, and you can tell that the creators are so proud of what they do, and they have good cultural references. It's just everything is good. Everything. Not to mention their business card is so incredible. I actually saved this on Pinterest a long time ago before I even knew who this was, this business, this hotel. I just saved it and didn't care to research what was on the card. But even down to the smallest detail, like a business card, their brand is showing through. And I love it. I love it. I'm so passionate about it. It just makes me excited because that's my biggest dream, is to take walkthrough and make it something that someone else is talking about it like I am right now. I just want it to be so clearly unique in my own. And I think I'm on the right track, hopefully. I'm really proud of my Instagram, not to toot my own horn. But, I'm building and expanding, and having businesses like these to look up to is really amazing. And it just makes me more excited to share. I love having a plethora of inspirations around me at all times and to look up to. So, anyway, as you can tell, I love this hotel. It's incredible. Please do yourself a favor. Go on their website, go on their Instagram, look it up. It is a treat for the eyes. Next business I want to talk about, I'm sure you have heard, this is not an underground indie brand, but the clothing brand Bode. Bode, I've always known about, I've known about for years, but never really deep dived into the brand. And I have recently because my husband and I are trying to kind of redo his coffee shop. He owns a coffee shop here in Richmond called Pay, which is incredible. If you're in Richmond, Virginia, go check it out. But I was looking at inspiration pictures on Pinterest. We were doing it together and just figuring out like what could amplify his business. And Bode is a huge inspiration. They just do vintage right. It's not in your face. They don't have like a old vintage sign like, this is vintage, this is our aesthetic. The way they design the space, it's just so warm and it feels vintage, but it's not so obvious. I know I just said that, but I love when a design gets the point across without having to tell you, hey, I'm vintage. Just so you know, I am vintage. You can just tell it is by entering the space through material, through the sourced items they have in their store, through their clothes, their actual product. So Bode is great. I love them. They're very maximalist, but again, I think I said this about the last hotel. They're maximalist, but pared down. So it's classic pieces you could wear anywhere at any time, but they're still so unique and special. And their Instagram is amazing. I love Instagrams that are casual but still so well curated. You get a sense of who the brand is and it feels personal, but it's still professional, curated. It's well executed. It doesn't feel haphazard. I think as a brand and having a brand identity, you want to be personal. You don't want to just have like a blank slate and feel so removed from your business. I think it's nice to kind of share about yourself on the Instagram so your customers can get to know the owners no matter what the business is. I think that's really important, and that's again something I try to implement. They really have an incredible grasp on their own style. It's so well done. That's all I can say is it's well done, and I would love to own a piece from them one day, but they're expensive for a good reason. I know it's for a reason, but whew. Speaking of Luke Edward Hall, mentioned him earlier. He is an interior designer and artist, and his brand, it's called Chateau Orlando. He came out with this brand not too long ago. I want to say a year or two ago, maybe. I actually have one of his prints that's signed, which is crazy. My mom got it for me for Christmas last year, and I cherish it. It's in our bedroom, and I love it so very much. I'm gonna go off on a tangent really quick, but just bear with me. I studied in Florence, Italy in 2022, and I was like, he's always in Italy because I track what he does apparently for work. So I was like looking at his Instagram, and I think it was his husband was in Florence, like literally where I lived, I think a day after I left. And I was so upset because he's like a niche celebrity to me. I care about like designers, like as if it was like Taylor Swift standing in front of me. Still love her. I would die if she was in front of me. But if I saw Luke Edward Hall and his little whippets and his husband, I would die. I would literally die. I would just be like, hi, so you don't know me, but I follow everything you do and I love your dogs. Love Merlin. Um, and I think you're amazing. So anyway, tangent done. Maybe you don't know a single thing I just said, but if you know Luke, you'll appreciate everything I just said. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Again, the reference images, incredible. His style is just so unique to him. It's very British, very Greco-Roman, medieval. It's just so unique. I've never really seen anything like it. He's an amazing artist, and his products really show through. And on his Instagram, his business's Instagram, he has incredible product images. The models are really unique. He has great photography. The text over the photography is so cool. I also love how his brand clearly shows his interests and what he finds fascinating. Since I follow him so closely, I know he's really into like the old tales of England and Great Britain and all these like mystical tales about the like villages or cities on the water in England. It's just so interesting to see and learn about. But yeah, I just think he has a really, really unique brand and it's so clearly his. Off on another tangent, I have way back there one of his books and I look through it so often because it's just pretty pictures. He is the best at just having pretty pictures to look at, which is something I love so much. I like looking at pretty things. I like making pretty things. I just like it. And he is really good at that, where it can be just a picture of anything, a flower, and I'm like eating it up. I'm like, wow, this is incredible, and I love looking at it. Anyway, I love Luke Edward Hall. I need to do a like deep dive video on him and his homes. He has multiple homes that are all incredible. He is a huge inspiration to me. I've literally all throughout college, all 4 years of college, all of my projects, I like cited him as a source inspiration, and my teachers are like, you really like him, huh? And I'm like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. The last but not least brand, you know I had to mention it, Matilda Goad. If you watched my first ever video, I went on and on about Matilda Goad's home and how much I deeply love it. It just does something for me. I can't tell you what, but her Instagram is kind of like her personal Instagram and her brand Instagram combined, which I love. And it's just natural. It doesn't feel forced. Like I said, I love images that it can be taken with your iPhone, but it still feels really well done and curated. And the composition is great. I love color. What can I say? And her brand is colorful. I think I already mentioned this. I have all of her utensils, every single one. By the way, incredible quality. Couldn't recommend them enough. She is a business that has a lot of products now, but starting off, she didn't have that many. She had her lampshades with the scallops that she's known for and a couple other items, and now she's expanded a lot. But she does a really great job of making her Instagram feel fresh and new every day, even though she doesn't have a ton of products. And this is one of my goals. I really want to get more active on my walkthrough Instagram, because even if you don't have a ton of products, I think you can still curate a really great plethora of images on your Instagram. Just like the hotel I mentioned, there's not a whole lot you could post about a hotel. You know, there's only so many images you can take of the rooms. Finding another way of showing who you are is really great. And I think Matilda Goad does that. She posts, you know, everyday life, using her products in everyday life and her home and other people's home and how she uses the products. I just love that so much and I really want to get into that. I'm starting to do that with walkthrough, but there's always room to grow and expand. So yeah, her Instagram, it's just so effortless to me. I love, it's calming. Like the colors are so fun. She's really good at primary colors. I mentioned this in my first video. She is really great at taking yellow, red, blue and making it feel unique, even though those could be seen as like childish colors, maybe. She just really knows what she's doing. Definitely has always been an inspiration of mine. All of these businesses I'm listing are inspirations of mine, and it just makes me excited to expand my brand and grow it and make it so uniquely mine that when someone looks at my Instagram or sees a product of mine, they're like, oh, I know exactly who did that. That is what all of these people do. And I think that is such an amazing accomplishment. And it takes a lot of time. I mean, I was looking like deep diving in Matilda's Instagram, and just a few years ago, her logo was different. The images she posted were different. So it just shows that even as a huge brand like hers, you can still grow and evolve. You're never really done growing and evolving, and I think that is the amazing thing about designing and art is taking inspiration from other people, but putting your own twist on it and just using them as resources. I love doing that. I think having a great book of resources, so to say, is just a really great thing to have and look back on. It makes, for me at least, it makes me want to better myself because I want my business to thrive and just like these people. So anyway, I love Matilda. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, my husband owns a coffee shop and like we're trying to like redo it a little bit. I might do a video on that. I took a bunch of pictures of his space and I want to do like designing his coffee shop and what I would do and just be like, here you go, try it out. I hope y'all liked my very passionate tangents about these businesses and brands. Some of them are brand new to me. Some of them I've been following for years. Because I own a small business now, it's just so important to me to have unique branding and expand on it, and it can only go up from here. I feel like as you grow as a business, you find out more about yourself and what you want to show to the world. And I'm kind of just starting off, so it's just fun. It's fun to see where it'll go and where these businesses will go and evolve to. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me know any businesses that y'all are obsessed with. Hopefully someone out there shares my love for branding as much as I do. I love finding new businesses and brands that I've never heard of before, but they're just so unique. So if you have any, please put them in the comments. I want to check them out. Maybe you have a business. Please let me know. I love stuff like that. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you next time.